I come to make an announcement.
Yo, what's up, Mushroom Gamers? Long time. So here we are on our tail, and
it's the biggest piece of dog shit. And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's
Mid!
just not for me, I don't think. Had some weird desyncing of frames, and I disconnected at least a dozen times while I was playing. But, you know, I think we get a much brighter flash of vintage Maple where we're at, so we can just stay put. As for the announcement, it's about the raffle giveaway situation on our channel. So I got served a 14-day ban that got retrograded down to a warning. And I was kind of aware of what I was doing. It's solicitation, you know, strictly speaking, in a strict sense of the word. So we're gonna have to scrap the idea, unfortunately. Sorry to Sound Safari. You're still a winner, just minus the chaos. And I've been kind of touch and go lately. As you can see, I've made Throw a Fista here, with the plans of playing a Buccaneer as a non-ironman playthrough. But, you know, I think I'd rather corkscrew punch myself in the face than make another Ironman so early already. And a fully charged corkscrew punch, I might add. However, you know, overall right now, it feels that it's a little too easy unless I make up some rules. But if that's the case, why not just go Ironman to begin with? I mean, honestly, it's the resocializing back into the population, you know, with the pickup bossing or grinding parties, the PQs, and we're in a pretty big world that has a functioning economy. I want to utilize it. Those are the things I'm looking forward to playing this time around. And that's a thing that's got some possibility, I think, because we could try to showcase maybe how much money you could potentially make by playing around with the market, playing around it, make some coordinated moves in the FM over a course of a week, a month, something like that. But let's just define the far and few hard boundaries that I could think of for this playthrough, which is no Gobi leeching period, because I think getting third job in a matter of days is kind of overpowered, and it also comes with a notable seller premium compared to regular leeching, and I think we have no need to pay this premium because the entire intent behind my idea here is to not rock that 600 base int. I think Bucks watch very efficiently from what I've read, 36 to 40 HP at the cost of minus 16 MP per APR, and we have a reasonable minimum MP equation, which is 18 times your level plus 111, so pretty low. And I'm really relieved to read all this because I think with Olaf and Megasha HP questing, my goal will be 22k HP by Neo Tokyo time. And my tolerance for HP washing investments kind of hard caps at a modest set of int equipment equating to around 80 int or so. So we have nothing ultra godly. We have low base int of 40, give or take, because I do need to do enough damage so I can actively play my character. Learn to control my character while doing bosses because pirates are one of those finesse classes. Like for instance, Buccaneers can do a thing where they're able to cancel their super transformation 60 seconds into it, continue attacking mid-animation while simultaneously pressing their macro button to retransform exactly as it's coming off cooldown, have it sequenced by a demo or another attack of their situation, so they can stack attack macros on top of each other, which I think equates to around 6% increased in efficiency. Advanced skill I'm going to practice, so it's versatile, it's got finesse, and at the end of the day I want to create my own signature playstyle for any class I do decide to learn. But we'll go into a deeper dive into the Buccaneer skill set, you know, once we get there, because I think we could ramble for hours about it. Like a encyclopedia, dictionary on how to play Buccaneer. And I've been spray bottling myself in the face when the temptation of low-level leech kind of strikes. I think I've been doing a good job so far about that, but I think it's going to be so hard to resist when we're second and third job advancing, because second job we have that corkscrew blow, the backspin blow, double uppercut, which all sounds like amazing, but you know, we need that 10 SP to max the maximum HP increase skill before we do anything second job. And then we come third job, we have that 40 max point energy charge skill, that's top priority, and I probably won't know what to pick, and I'll want them all right away. Yeah, and just the main gripe being that playing active isn't difficult, I suppose, as much as it is annoying at certain periods, where a player may want to play fast and progress a lot over a short period of time. And I ran some low-level XPM tests around the level 20 range while we were still in that level, when gameplay's not nearly as impactful. And I just came to the conclusion that I'd rather play focused on one client only for now, because we're gonna have our skill tree unlocked before we even know it. So let's just say that I can have some initial lunch money, so we're not pinching every, meso right out the gate. And let's not self-split leech service while leeching our own character, because, that sounds broken. And I get to transfer a modest set of int gear to start with, and I'll have to craft, not purchase, the female gender-specific components that I'm missing currently. And most importantly, I get to buff share Maple Warrior 20 because I literally need to do this with my low base int. I'd rather have gone Ironman than even entertain the thought on the amount of APRs we need to reset 600 base int while double washing 100 plus levels from that stupid ass playstyle. So with the 40 base int, we'd still get like 1 extra MP point per level up, which is gonna be kind of important, I think, pretty soon here. Once I start actually using APRs and fresh AP points from second job beyond to perpetuity. And also got on good authority that, the 1 AP MP, will matter over the course of, 140 or so levels. And I'm thinking I might have misspoke. Are we even gonna get close to 22k by 170? That just seems impossible. But whatever happens, we're not gonna touch the Iron Man at all. Not even to share the HP buff if we needed it bad. It's not worth risking it all for something so mundane and stupid, to be honest. And aside from those stack of Knuckle 30s and Pirate exclusive pieces of equipment we've got sitting in storage, which we'll be transferring over, of course, I decided to make a female character this time around, even though most of my int equipment is male compatible only, because the big missing piece is that male int robe, which has 30 int, and my bishop overall is that mage only Doros Nis robe. I misplaced an 18 int FKC, which I've kind of failed to account for because it is probably not even on any of my accounts anymore. Either I've sold it or I loaned it out to one of my, buddies a long time ago. But in any case, it's most likely gone, which is alright. It wasn't a super expensive piece or anything, and we can always just craft another one. But anyways, I've also chosen female because there's a playground rumor that female character sprites have a smaller hitbox comparatively to males, which, I thought it could be a factor for an up-close and personal class like Buccaneer if this is true. And just above all else, I'm looking forward to getting to play arguably the most dominant class on the server, which I say pretty confidently because I think Bucks are a class that enhances every aspect of the group in almost every way while not being a very buff-hungry class. Because we're bringing SI, which is key to warrior classes, for instance. The cooldown recovery that Timely provides can make or break certain lineups by enabling a smokescreen or resurrection rotation. They've got the highest damage output when there are 6 targets to cleave. They're third behind NLs and Corsairs who never let their ship break when it comes to single target damage. When I'm playing Night Lord, I'm usually never functioning at my maximum potential outside of coordinated group efforts, and I often get turned away from groups more often than not because of my flat-out refusal to create a pocket SC mule. So the buck is all around solid, and the demand is ubiquitous at all hours of the day. So this is going to be a fantastic change because I'd rather be tired of seeing too much action as opposed to worrying about not getting picked, when it comes to late game content. And yeah, just to recap a little bit about what's been happening on screen. I think I slightly messed my skill build up by not maxing bullet time after the somersault kick, since I barely used Flash Fist or even War Knuckle in the first place during first job so far. I'm also going to wind up losing out on 5 MP through a combination of not having my total int be greater by a multiple of 10 than it could have been on level ups, and just my choice to focus on KPQ and not worry about MW20 over 3 levels at that time. And Maple Island was pretty standard, I think. I did deliberately miss 3 or 4 quests because I was too lazy to walk, but mostly out of the fear I'd overlevel past 10, since I'm pretty sure that the HP MP gain multipliers vary depending on class, with beginners having the lowest of them all. And that would have made a min-maxer such as myself want to remake the character. And also counting on our acquired knowledge with missable quests from the Iron Man playthrough. So hopefully I don't miss literally all of them again, and will remain in solid standing if we did want to go for the Virtuoso medal. But, I usually show preference for the Legendary Collector one because of that flat 1k HP bonus and that 3 weapon attack. Just too good. I'm thinking the extra dex from Virtuoso could come into play for high accuracy requirement encounters later like Royal Guard or Grandpa Boss as examples. And I suppose I would care much more playing as Iron Man if that extra meant the difference between getting that 1 extra MP per level up or not. And yeah, just we're at Peak Beach trying to grab some quick level ups and testing out if hauling this HS everywhere seems to be worth it at this point, which it isn't. And eventually we'll shimmy on over to Bubblings. So meanwhile, the entire time I'm reminding myself that I'm playing Buccaneer, not Bishop. I'm playing Buccaneer, trying to learn how to play Brawler. And it helps when I realize that playing manually is the fastest way to level while we're still this early on. Here, a generous guy trades us some free NX equipments. I think the hat looks pretty cool. and we form a small bubbling training group off this interaction with the goal of getting everyone at level 21 so we can KPQ together later. It eventually dawns on me that we don't have an int overall, so I run off and go grab 5 overall in 60s and 6 in 70s. We go 4 for 5 with the 60s, and we do 3 for 3 with 70s, giving us a 14 in 2 slot bathrobe, that's female. And I'm going to intend on finishing this with 60s since our independent scrolling pass rates actually seem to be reasonable so far. We start our KPQs once I'm all finished up over here, sweating the minuscule amounts of int. We got our last level up with MW20 for a little while since third job skills and beyond are locked inside of the PQ, and me insisting that I have it between PQs at awkward EXP percentages to level up with MW20 would be like a pretty shit reason to slow everyone down in the first place. So yeah, I'll briefly mention KPQ for like complete coverage in a way, since I think we all know how KPQ works. I mean, most PQs reuse elements of KPQ at least one way. So stage 1 here asks basic questions where you'll turn the correct corresponding number of tickets to receive a pass. Most answers you can find in the beginner guidebook, and once those passes are in, the leader will turn them in. To move on to stage 2, which is process of elimination vine combo with 3 hanging and 1 clicker, and just click until you get right. For stages 3 and 4, they're more or less the same with that numeric process of elimination, but there is an abbreviated method originating from KMS that uses vertical and box-shaped movements instead of moving horizontally like we're all accustomed to. It cuts out the need to try every single possible number combination, while also not needing to worry if you've skipped past a specific combo if it's taking a while for that run. But you know, this method is not as intuitive as the one we know here, and most players won't know how to do it, so it's irrelevant because of that alone, even if it is faster. And the King Slime can drop slime shoes, which got me kind of excited, until I realized I'd need like some godly int roll of 5 or better for it to matter much at all. I've got some YSS ready come level 50, and my thoughts about that pretty much ended then and there once I figured that. Not much to really say here. Just keep doing KPQs, keep them going until we're about to ding level 25 before we go wrap things up at Wild Boars until second job advancement time. And it's getting close to where I'm going to close off here with some final thoughts. We're edging closer to the anniversary event. It's getting pretty close. I think a month or 2 away around the corner, and I consider that to be peak playing season here. So I'm going to be banking on some kind of activity surge during that time, enough so to do some group A horntails hopefully. I've just been so unbelievably frustrated lately because of how close I am to getting a shot at soloing portions of Neo Tokyo. I'm a little bit iffy on whether we have enough DPS non-Zerk to clear a big enough portion of second body to get the little Brew Froggies to come out for the prereq etc. item. And, you know, starting a boss knowing we won't finish is not really my way of operating. So I try it as a last resort only, in the case of a true emergency where my patience and vision for the Iron Man just would run out completely, which is where this kind of comes into play here, as a failsafe in terms of keeping my enjoyment levels high for this game, in the worst case scenario that there is no revival of group horntails. I was honestly feeling kind of conflicted throughout the whole process of this video, from idea to execution about sharing this character, because it is non-Ironman after all, and I'm really just not sure if you'd find the different playstyle to be interesting still without that added challenge. I think the quality for the series will depend entirely on how seriously I take those soft guidelines, with my overarching rule of thumb being to just avoid anything that sounds overpowered and a luxury. So that should give us a yank on our leash as per me needed, and remain a straight shooter throughout for what I'm going to envision the feel of this new series to be. Well, I just want to say it was good catching up with y'all again, and this is all I brought for now. I wish I had some more ideas that resonated with me to the extent that I could really get behind it and have it hold my attention, get me invested while we've got our main series on hold. But yeah, please let me know if you want to see more of this, or if this one kind of missed the mark totally for you. Also, if you got any suggestions on soft rules you'd like to see implemented, I'll read everything, and we can definitely make it happen. And okie doke, I will catch you in the next one. In the meantime, hope you take care, and please be well.